Today's show is brought to you by Into the AM. And first off, I love Into the AM because they are a company that are designed specifically for the content creators, the people that love to express themselves. Kind of like me and you, Deke. We got that artistic creativity, content creator, label going on with us. And as you can see, I got one of their shirts on right here, one of the graphic tees. Now, Deke also knows because he rocks the non-graphic tees, but that's the duality of Into the AM. They got both elements of it. Premium material, man. Feels nice and smooth, and it makes your biceps look a little bit bigger, too. I ain't even work out today. I saw you peeping me, though, when you walked in. I saw you was like, yo, did you curl a little bit? No, it's the shirt, bro. I promise. But we don't talk about anybody if we can't give something back to y'all, baby. And we got a promo code. Promo code is MOATS, or you can use the website or the link below, intotheam.com/MOATS10, so you can get your 10% off of your purchase at intotheam.com. Promo code, once again, is MOATS. You see the website, you see the link right there, and you see the threads, baby. So shout out to Into the AM. Now, let's get to this here preview, baby. Preview time. Well, I'm feeling good, baby. All right, so first off, I think we got some good situations going on in here, as we've obviously been breaking down some of the things that we like about this team and we don't like. But the advantages that we are definitely going to have, or that we should have on paper, our pass rush should create havoc from start to finish. The return of TJ Watt, with the way that with the way that the reigning AFC Defensive Player of the Week, Alex Highsmith, is playing right now, man, I think that we're able to dominate them in terms of that pass rush element, man. And when you're doing that, we saw week 1, even though Joe is still a heck of a player, when he is under duress, when he is forced to play faster and he doesn't have his full gamut of weapons, man, you can take advantage of him at times. You can force him into some turnovers. And even though he's only had 2 picks since our game, it is not like he has not put some balls out there that still could have and probably should have been picked. That's the other part of this thing, man. So for me, man, I do feel like we will be able to take advantage of that with our pass rush. The second thing are those turnover opportunities. When you're looking at them on tape, they have had some balls where it's like, yo, if you catch this, that's a game changer. We know what we have here in Pittsburgh in terms of guys that are capable of creating turnovers. We even saw it directly last week, right? You bring in Casey, he gets a pick. His track record shows that, though. Levi Wallace just adding to what he's been doing. Our corners, Cam Sutton, multiple interceptions. We know we got guys that can turn the ball over, and that's just from a pass perspective. Not even talking about what we do in terms of punching at balls, forcing fumbles. And we know when we get sacks, we don't just get regular sacks either. We put the ball on the ground when we get these sacks, man. So them turnover opportunities are going to be there. And we talked about their corners. Our receivers, man, they should dominate this. If we got the time that we are supposed to have, if Chooks and Dan can hold up, our receivers are going to have favorable matchups, man. They're going to be able to be running free at times, man. So to me, when I think of those 3 elements, I'm like, yo, we got to take advantage of that type of stuff right there. Some of the things that obviously we're going to have to be a little bit more cognizant of, and it's not even just things, more so the people. No different we talked about with the dislikes. We know who Joe Mixon is, because it's less about the running game as a whole, more so about him specifically. Whether it's the weak screen game, but he make a guy miss and get running, and you're like, bro, that wasn't a crazy route, but you missed him on the screen. Now he's a handful. Like, it's that type of stuff, just man. Made a tackle. That's it. It's that type of stuff. We tackle him, we're fine. When you allow this dude to get north and south, man, he's coming downhill, it's a lot of dudes that just, they finding ways to not make them plays anymore. So
I don't think we got any of those dudes.
I don't feel like we have them either. But the problem is, when I was just watching that Dagon game and I'm watching these DBs try to hit Mixon, I'm like, bro, they turning it down at times. I don't feel like we got those guys. But it's the problem of me just watching it on tape, and I'm like, yo, they started turning that thing down.
You asked me last year, maybe that's a different story. Not this year. This defense is different this year.
They got tired of hitting him. They got tired of hitting that man, bro. So for us, I don't anticipate that happening, but that's definitely something we need to be aware of. Joe Burrow, because he can get hot. When he gets hot, like you talked about, bro, he has that X factor, that it factor element of it. That does still show up. But I still feel like our pass rush is the X factor to his X factor. We talk about some of these elite quarterbacks historically in the NFL, and when we're like they're unbeatable, And then we're like, well, what happened? Why did they lose? Oh, the pass rush got to him. Brady and this unbeatable Patriots team. Giants pass rush getting to him. Mahomes, man, unbeatable squad. Tampa Bay pass rush getting to him. You know what I mean? Like, we can go down the list of all these, like, elite players, God-tier guys, where it's like, man, how do they struggle in these type of matchups? The pass rush. And that's what we're bringing to this table, man. So even though I do feel like Joe Burrow is going to, you know, be one of the guys we got to be alert on, and we still should be straight on that. And like I said, man, they pass rush is cool. More importantly, their edge. We should be good, though.
Yeah,
we should be good, man.
If we don't pay them mind, they're good players. Hendrickson and Hubbard are pretty good.
Yeah. I don't want to singling up our guys on them too much, but we've shown just these past 2 games, especially against the Saints, some of the stuff that we can do to irritate those guys. Some of the stuff that we did versus Cam Jordan. It was like, hey, man, just line up the tight end over here. Just line up a tight end over here. Just have Jaylen Warren on the way out, bump this dude. Or just have Najee fast release over there to make him have to take a little bit tighter of a rush. Little things like that. Switching up the launch point. Oh, okay, now we're going to block him. Okay, this time we're going to show him run fake. All right, this time we're going to leave him unblocked, but we're going to run away from him. Like, all of these different looks. So he's constantly thinking, going through his mind. We can do those same things against both Hendrickson and Hubbard. I think more so for Hendrickson than Hubbard. I think he's definitely the better player of the two.
For sure.
But if I'm thinking, hey, man, how do we just mix it up on him? That's the guy that you're more so worried about. But as a whole, I still feel like we're going to be fine. And based on what we've seen from Matt Canada on tape these past 2 games, he's been showing that he can do this. So hopefully for him, he go ahead and execute these things, man. But I definitely am feeling good about this for us, though, man, because of the things that we're going to bring to the table in the areas that they're struggling in as well.
I like it, too. Score predictions?
You go for it, man. Break it down, Deke. How is it going for us not tomorrow, on Sunday at 4:25 p.m.?
Pickett's undefeated at Acrisure this year, right?
Sound about right?
I think they technically give him the win for the Bucs game because he started it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just won against the Saints. Undefeated. 2-0. And that continues this week. He'll be 3-0 after this one.
Let's get it.
I do think, I keep saying Pickett's going to light it up. Yeah, he played good last week. What can I say?
Mm-hmm.
But I really do think this is the one where he puts that stamp on and says, listen, I'm the quarterback of this team. Follow me. Let's go on a second half run.
Okay.
Let's try to make these playoffs.
Okay.
Because of not only the matchups, but I do think it goes back to some of the stuff we talked about earlier in this podcast, but also even on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Might have missed some stuff. Might have missed some explosive plays that were out there in the Saints game. I think he's a good learner. I think he's a good student of the game. I think he takes this stuff seriously. I don't think he's going to want to miss those chances in this game.
Yeah.
I think he gets... I think we scored 3 touchdowns. Did they all come from Pickett? Fuck it. Yeah, I think they do. They all come from Pickett.
QB sneak one of them, right? He got to get one QB sneak. I don't care what you say. He getting one QB sneak.
Sure. Actually, yeah. 2 passing. 2 passing and 1 QB sneak.
Sure. One of them things, man.
Sure. You're 100% right. I do think we get 2 or 3 deep balls.
No, facts.
Either to Pickens or like we saw last week with Deontay Johnson. I think he's able to connect to Freiermuth a little bit over the middle. Jaylen Warren. I mean, I just think we're going to get pieces of the offense that we saw last week. We saw Warren catching stuff out of the backfield, making plays. Najee Harris running well. I think that's going to continue. Pickens, Deontay Johnson, we know what they are and what they mean to us as receivers. I think that all continues. I just think it's going to be a little bit better because I think some of the stuff maybe Pickett missed last week, he's not going to it happens. It happens with quarterbacks. Yeah. Quarterbacks miss. But I think it's going to be less this week, and Pickett's going to take advantage of those opportunities that present himself. I think the defense is just going to be lights out. I really do. Joe Burrow, is he going to scare you here and there? It's naturally going to happen. You got to be on your P's and Q's. But I really believe in this defense with T.J. Watt being back and us being pretty much healthy across the board. Miles Jack should be back this game. We're probably going to be missing Minka, but if DeMonte Casey continues to play like he did against New Orleans,
like that, bro,
I'm not as concerned. I mean, Akello Witherspoon being out, that's fine. James Pierre's been playing good as, one of our backup cornerbacks coming in at times. But we got Cam Sutton, Levi Wallace playing at a high level. I think we'll be good, bro. I'm feeling... I really like that score by TG, man. 28-17.
Are you going to follow the WVU Mountaineer? You almost home? Almost to heaven?
I'm going to go...
Or you almost Oakland?
No, I'm going to go 27.
Okay.
He said 17 for the Bengals.
Yes. Yeah.
He said 28-17. So I'm going to go 27.
16?
Oh, my God. That 17 is the right number.
You know it is.
Damn it.
You know it is. That's
McPherson misses an extra point.
That's sweet
No,
spot, bro.
McPherson misses an extra point. He's been missing some.
Okay.
He's been missing some this year. He hasn't been
Yeah.
the McPherson of his rookie year. So, yeah, 27-16, Steelers win.
Sure. All right, I like it. I mean, defensively, dude, I'm right with you, man. This is one where I do feel like Joe's going to make plays because Joe Burrow makes plays. Mixon is going to have some stuff, but I still feel like we're going to be better against Mixon, man. And for some reason, I feel like anytime since he plays us, they get cute. They don't try to just run the ball. I feel like the times when they've actually had success. But
last year on the road, or when we were on the road.
When we went to them, right. But
we lost like
they
by 40.
hardly ever, when they're playing against Pittsburgh, do they commit to that. They get in this, like, pissing contest, so to speak, and they try to win it through the air, win it with their quarterback to prove what they have. In the past, it was foolish when it was Dalton versus 7. It's like, bro, y'all only lying to yourselves. We know we got this guy. But even with Burrow, it's kind of like, man, you're taking away from one of your best players, man. Like, let this dude run the ball. Hopefully it will continue in terms of them neglecting to run the ball, because that's what the series has been with them whenever they're going against us, man. So I definitely like that. For us offensively, though, I do feel like Kenny will continue to get better and will improve. I don't know if I'm ready to crown him and say 2 touchdowns through the air, nothing like that. But I do think he does get 1 through the air, because watching him, the mistakes that he has made, he does clean up. Now, granted, he might clean this mistake up and now this pops up, or that goes away and this pops up, but that is a part of his development. The one thing is, though, that he is consistently getting better. The command, the trust. We talk about the difference, right, in terms of, okay, some of the weeks before, he wasn't necessarily missing some of these guys. He was taking the chance of hitting them, but the turnovers were there, right? Last week, it was like, hey, man, he was clean with that rock, but he didn't take as many chances. He missed some of those dudes, right? So I do feel like he's going to continue to find that balance back and forth. And this is one of those ones where he's going to have opportunities, but more importantly for him as a young player going through it, sometimes it's like this, man. You go through it in the stadium and it happens and it's so fast you don't even peep it. You watch it on tape. It's like, all right, I got it next time. You come out there and it's like, dang, I still missed it, but I saw a little bit of it. Then that third time, now it's like, bro, I'm ready for it. I got this. And now it's hitting. For Kenny, I feel like he's getting closer to that part where it was like, okay, the first time he didn't even have a clue this dude was there. This time it was like, I could even watch him on tape where he sees it and it's like, or it's like a little bit too late. This is that next part where it's like, okay, you've seen it a couple times now. You're getting like your eyes are getting used to the speed. All of that college stuff, man, it does not matter because it's night and day in terms of the speed. But his eyes are starting to catch up, and that's the part for me where I think will help him even more so. But for me, man, I do think that we're also going to be able to have success running the ball more importantly. I think that we're not going to lose sight of that. I like this version of our offense where we do keep Kenny lower 30s in terms of attempts and running the ball and being more committed to it. I think that continues. And I do think that we get out of this stadium. I think it's tight, but I got it 24-21 us. I got it going away.
Matty Ice.
Game winning field goal.
Matty Ice.
Hey.
Matty Ice, baby. How long is the field goal?
I said it's going to be one of two things. You ready for this?
41 yards.
Are you ready for this?
42.
Either we hitting that thing from about 35 going in for the dub, or we've had the lead and they started coming back and we down that stretch like, Lord have mercy, somebody make a play. It's one of them.